Down here, spent my best part of my childhood fishing here with some of my best mates. Every species of fish you can imagine, from brown trout to rainbow trout to spined loach, carp and bream, despite the fast moving water. A 4-inch daddy rough once, a 4-ounce daddy rough once, pretty much legal, like what's it called, rod record I think. And huge chub in their days. No barbel and no bleak in the Nen in those days, certainly not in Northamptonshire. Spawning gravel bed there, and upstream an area where you catch all kinds of fish, but all very different. I don't know what's going on here. So this is all industrial now. That was the old mill house, proper old mill house. We used to go in and nearly go through the floorboards in the olden days. All very different. In fact, shockingly different. This is Sixfields now in Northampton, all built around a football stadium, the new stadium in my lifetime, with all the pubs and eateries and industrial areas. Just countryside. Used to cycle. It was like we were going off on an exploration, on an adventure away from home on our little push bikes. And there was obviously no one here, only us guys. So there's lads fishing and snaking. Still stuff in there, but the water table's dropped now so low, it's a very different place. Certainly from one lifetime to another, a very different place. And as usual, quite a loss of habitat and fish life. Nice to see some fish in there. There's some small stuff in there. Looking like little roach. So a real shallow bit you can walk across here, even though it used to be quite deep. This is shallow. You see all the chubs spawning in the spring. We'd always pop a gudgeon on and flick it out in the current and get a pike, or we put a small hook on and some tiny roach fry, and we get large daddy rough or perch up to £2, which were big in those days, before the red claw crayfish came along. Still a lovely place to be, down by the river. So this is an arm that comes off the river, so the river runs down there, and then there's an arm that comes off the old mill pond. And the house used to be there. That was all pond, that's all been filled in and built on now. And look at this, the water table dropping, plus the filling in and sedimentation. It's pretty filled up. It looks like a nice pond, and there's still some depth down here. Always used to be pike laying near the sides here. Sorry about the wind noise, I haven't got the microphone. Looks like a nice pond. Little backwater that goes up there. It used to be full of 1-inch tench if you sifted out all the weed, and black-throated and 9-spine sticklebacks. So some all unusual stuff in here for a kid with a net. I caught some baby pike out of here, just 2 inches long, kept them in aquaria. But all of this was open water, feeding back to the river, and the not just a bigger tench, but in here a huge colony of ginormous bream, big slabs, huge bream that no one could ever catch, but in the summer they'd come up to the surface and lay here like crocodiles. You could walk across them and just basking. They'd never take any bait, just basking in the sun. Fantastic to see. Just distant memories now, but there's still some water here and there's still some life here, which is one thing. New generation. I'm not sure the Wildlife Trust have got enough volunteers maybe, but yeah, I'll walk around in a circle. Looks like it's not going to happen. Another pointless gate in the countryside, so there's no walking around there anymore. And I guess, as always in the countryside nowadays, lack of use. Just not enough people walking in the countryside to keep that open, keep the nettles down. It's just how it is now. It's all very different nowadays, all very different. Hopefully, although she might be a weirdo in today's society, hopefully Lily will be one of those fewer kids that are going outside, being introduced to the wildlife in the countryside and the wonder of it all that just never ends. That's what breaks my heart. The wonder of nature is endless. It doesn't matter how old you are, you'll learn new stuff all the time if you just look. So what's abundant down there? Well, whirligig beetles, worming around. Purple loosestrife, a beautiful plant over there. But look at these plants. Now this isn't a lie, and you could say, Dave, it's very naughty. But these plants here were once, for sure, a pretty scarce plant. They're called water soldier. They sink to the bottom in the winter and they rise to the surface and flower in the summer. You might even have them in your wildlife pond. Really great plants to have. Those water soldiers are descendants of water soldier plants that I put in there as a teenager. Where the ones in the pond at home did so well, I didn't want to just put them in a compost heap, and I dropped them down here. So they are probably descendants of water soldier. They're a British native, so don't panic too much. Of a British native plant that only exists there because about 45 years ago, no that's wrong, 35 years ago, I put their great grandparents in here. Not something you should ever do at all, but for sure some British native plants aquatically. I never knew they were still even in here, that I very naughtily nowadays put in there. Oh look, down there, I don't know if it's on camera, lots of little fry. Wonder what else is lurking beneath. Again, apologies for the wind noise. So just over there is a canal, but here's another part of the river. This bit's always been shallow with a few deep chub holes and fast flowing. Let's see what it's like now. Oh crikey. Okay, there's still water there. There's still some water in there. But under the bridge, oh my god, you can't believe it. How things change in one lifetime. It's really windy. Down there, all of this was open water and it was fast flowing. And down here, because it got gravelly and rocky just before the bridge, the water was flowing this way. This was the breeding ground for probably every minnow in this river. Just thousands and thousands, this whole area full of minnows. And the common minnow, or the minnow, is one of the most stunning fish when it's in its breeding plumage, if like its breeding dress. The females are pretty boring, silver with a black stripe, but just for that springtime breeding, the males are as beautiful as any tropical fish. So look how tiny that little bit is down there. It's all, you know, again, changed. I'm going to say gone to pot really, but quite a fast flowing stream with deep holes, sort of maybe 5 or 6 foot deep, where like chub and things, and you could catch these fish if you were really stealthy. Grass snakes would have their heads under rocks pulling out stoloach and bullheads. And nowadays, I think, what's going on? What the heck is going on here? Did you do that? Did you do that? Bizarrely, this water wasn't here when I was a kid. Dusson Reservoir, a reasonable fishery, there's a grebe out there, great crested grebe. That expanse was all farmland. So a very strange turnaround. Get him, Lil. Oh, you're too slow. My brother Gary and I were brought to Salsey Forest since we were little Lily's age there, and it was just a forest. It wasn't commercialised, it had public footpaths through it, little pull-ins along the roadside, little tiny car park pull-ins. Now, like a lot of these forestry sort of ones, they've all become a bit like Fine Shade Woods where we were only last week. They've become massive commercialised sort of money-making things, which is great in a way, I guess, because you're getting you're getting the people, the public, which is my ethos, out into the countryside. Ironically, a lot of them, they're still not coming for nature as such. They're coming for the man-made stuff they can do in the forest. They're very, very commercialised to sort of feed that nature of people. They want to nowadays come and do man-made stuff. You know, it's, I don't know, £8 to park your car or something like that all day. There's massive facilities here now, really posh toilets, food, lots to do, which is great. I do like the fact it's bringing people out into these lovely forests and woodlands, because it gives people certainly a better mindset than doing stuff with their kids inside. So massively brilliant in that respect. But often a lot of the people they're not really any more interested in nature than they were before. They don't know what the animals are, and they're not interested. They're not looking at butterflies or beetles with their kids. In fact, very much not. Luckily, of course, a percentage are. So it's I don't know, it's always a bit of a double-edged thing. Where I grew up as a kid fishing, down Duston Mill, just a mild water area where there's lakes and streams and canals. It was just the boys and the adults that wanted to go fishing or snaking and stuff. Now it's part of Six Fields, a football stadium complex with eateries and pubs, and the litter and the trash and the fly tipping is now horrendous. So getting people into the countryside, which I really want you to do, is very much a double-edged sword, I think.
Yeah. It's really pretty. Look at these colours.
Look at that. The 4 lion snakes shed. Russian rat snakes trying to catch some rays. Whoa. When you're keeping them outside, you actually want cooler weather with sunshine, and then they naturally come out and bask. The hot weather, not hardly any reptiles out, it's too hot for them. And obviously the cold weather without any sun, they tend to hide away too. Little baby slow one there, look. Well, maybe it's not, maybe I need my glasses on. And equally, like the female black rat snake, again, I've not seen her in all this hot weather, but she's out now because the sun's peeping through that glass. It is warming up. I can feel the rays on my back, even though it's a bit overcast. But she's out there, very much waiting for the sun. I'll quickly whiz you around. Actually, a couple of butterflies out now. Been a bit late starting everything this year for the old insects, as I'm sure you guys are aware. Bully the bull snake, his name's Gloria actually, but Gloria's there. Gonna have to probably find him a new home. So if anyone wants a 7-foot bull snake at a fair price, let me know. Might have to find him a new home, because I think I've got the inhabitants coming that I've actually built that for very soon. Fingers crossed. Any grass snakes out? Surprisingly, no. No, they're all waiting. Not even a viper eye out. Oh, yes there is. Right in the middle of the screen, you can just see a young one. Small one there. I don't know if you can see in that little dark nook right in the middle there. Anyway, work to do. With our warming climate, these hornet mimic hoverflies are really spreading northward through the UK. Certainly didn't see them around Northamptonshire when I was a kid. Look at that. See if we can get a real close up. Beautiful. Bit cold for it to fly today. Big hoverfly. Not as big as a hornet, but certainly that sort of size. Lovely reddish oranges of a hornet. What a beastie. Totally harmless, just another hoverfly. Pollinating flowers is its job, and drinking nectar, I guess, is its part of its game. And eating pollen, I don't know. Look at that. Oh, just going to show you how big it was. Let it flip.
Come on. Good boy.
Here's our new turkey vulture. Oh, he's seen me, look.
Good boy. Come on. Hey, come on.
Look at him. Look at him, he's changed so much. Wow. Not long, soon be flying.
Come on.
To our guests. Look at him go. Is he called Morgan now or not?
Isn't that what we're calling him?
Yeah, as long as you're alright with that, I guess.
I love it.
We'll just call him Morgan.
I think it's perfect. Come on, Morgan.
It's called Morgan now.
Come on.
What did you want to call him? If only you were quicker. Look at him go. If he flies as well as he runs us, so you'll be alright.
Come on, you. We're not going in there. Come on. Hey. Come on. Look.
So the big male black rat snake, the albino, he's been back indoors now, out of the outdoor enclosure, sort of in hospital, I guess. Suspected sunburn, and you can absolutely see that it was. He's shed his skin again now. Often snakes that have got injuries or damage or even just feel sick and ill, they'll shed more often. I was trying to make themselves better or clear out their skin, but have a look. You can see all that sunburn. Obvious when you think about it, but something I didn't even consider, keeping snakes under direct, real sunshine outdoors, is of course, they don't know that they're albinos. They don't know they're lacking in pigment. Look at that. So sunburnt just like a human. Thankfully now that's all healed up, or it's not healed up, but that skin shed has got all the dirt off and the scabs off, and that's going to heal up now. But learn something new every day. And as I said in a previous video, you would actually think it's obvious. Pigs, we know pigs, white pigs get sunburnt, and so on and so forth. We know fair-skinned people get sunburnt far more than dark-skinned people, and yet I didn't even give it a thought until the symptoms showed up. So bless him. So he's been brought indoors and he's been hydrated, you know, make sure he's got plenty of water, slightly damp coir, and he's looking on the mend now, bless him, a lot better than he did. Outdoor enclosures, possibly not for everything, certainly when it comes to non-wild type colour morphs, certainly those lacking in pigment or very little pigment. Today we're fishing with the brothers. We're fishing with the twins. It's a bit like Laurel and Hardy that we're getting set up. A bit windy, but it's sheltered. If we catch anything, I'll let you know. What's that on? What's that on your little boilie?
I'll put some sweet corn out. One of them. Take some of them.
No, it's all right. I'm not...
Take some of them.
I just missed because I was... I can't bring myself to fish for those ones. There's just so many slurping down the crest. Oh. Hold on. Anyway. Trouble is, it's absolutely rammed with roach. So watch how they suck these three offerings down. In a minute I'm going to dangle a bit of bread in with the hook in. I'm not going to strike them. It's quite fascinating to see how they look and observe. If I keep the hook just above the water, you'll see them mouth the hook and spit it straight out instantly when they feel that metal in there. Quite interesting. So there must be hundreds and hundreds of carp in here, but it's a match fish pond, lake, whatever, and I'm sure mostly all been caught a few times before. It's really interesting to see them feel the hook. I'll come back to that in a bit. Quite greedy that time. Much bigger, yeah. The biggest one of the day, that is. Yeah.
It was going to plodding round everywhere.
Dad caught one, Pete caught one, back to back, straight together. Not doing bad for 81. Still nimble. And you'd got that one on. It's a nice size one, Pete.
Yeah, mirror, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, this is me. This is the fish. I couldn't really fish for these ones. It's like fishing in your pond, wouldn't it, if you fished for these ones? I had more fun watching them, to be honest.
haven't done meat to them now. Have they?
Pete's on number 20.
It seems like quite a good one actually. No, they all put up a really good fight, don't they?
I know. Some of them
They're old fish,
are
aren't they,
crazy
like
for
that?
how relatively
Yeah.
small they are. Some of them are crazy, aren't they?
Yeah.
You
Imagine
think they're
the
double the
big
size?
amount,
I know. I was using my left hand for a bit, tensioning the rod. I know.
Oh yeah, come on. It's a bloody mirror, ain't it? No mirrors are always hardest to get up. They tend to go down deeper rather than the comments and just sort of shoot off, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that don't look bad size, is it?
What
You'll
do we
get
know?
it in the net back down. It'll be
Yeah,
like easy
yeah.
if you get it.
Let's take this
I
one.
struggle to reach them, to be honest. If you get it in the net, that is.
I know.
Well done, mate. Right, it's number 20.
Where's the mat? You right with that? Oh, that's a nice colour. It's got like
one, isn't it?
nice colour down the other half there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Quite keen on their fish welfare here, and why not? It's their livelihood and their lake and their fish. So landing nets and hooking mats are supplied. You have to use theirs. Certain baits you can't use. Certain baits like pellets you have to use theirs. Barbless hooks, of course. So this is a match fish pond or small lake. I think last Sunday it was £180 was a winning sort of peg. So the fish are getting caught quite often. So it's really important they're well looked after for sure. And most of them look good. A few of them have got gnarly old mouths, bless them. But barbless hooks, definitely the way to go. Apart from the roach, I've not even touched any of these fish today that I've caught. I've literally just lifted them out onto the weighing net, unhooked them and dipped them back in the landing net. So nice and easy for those fish. Hope you enjoyed seeing them. 2 years since I've been fishing with the boys. It's just a bit of fun, spending time in Dad's company and Pete's company. So yeah, a lovely day by the lake. Lots of wildlife to see, tame robin, and really I had my pet carp most of the way through. I did accidentally catch one of those while I was showing you guys how they could feel the hooks and rejected those baits rather than the free offerings. One of them I did catch, ironically, the biggest fish of the day, but I didn't really want to fish for the ones that were sort of my company pets. There was so many around my feet. Seemed a little bit not sporting, but all good fun.
Come down the side of it, but I've been about like this. Oh yeah, come on,